The silence hit me first. Not the usual kind, but a heavy, prickling quiet that burrows deep. It was the kind of hush that feels alive, like it knows something you don't. We sat at the long dinner table, plates half empty, cheap wine pooling on the cloth. Her brother had just lifted his glass for a toast when his fiancée's voice sliced through. "Hold on," she murmured, staring at me like I'd stepped out of a nightmare. "You're the CEO." She didn't need to say more. Her phone shook in her grip, my company's name glowing on the screen. Every knife and fork stilled. Every pair of eyes swung to me. I just blinked. Her father, my father-in-law, let out a laugh, sharp and dismissive. "What's this nonsense, Clara?" He glanced my way. Him? A CEO? He messes around with computers for a living. Told him to get a proper job, didn't I? His laugh grated, the kind men use when they think they've got the upper hand. I stayed quiet. Clara's throat bobbed as she swallowed the reality. Her company owed mine $200 million. We'd cut them off this morning. No press release, no whispers online, but I knew the shockwave would hit by dinner. And it did, right on cue. They never saw me, not really. Her family, not even her. Tech was a punchline to them, some hazy, childish thing. She'd told them I worked with code, and they'd nodded like I was still a kid tinkering with gadgets. I starred every smug glance, especially from her father, who once leaned across this same table, bourbon on his breath, and told me to stop playing games and be a man. My wife just smiled then, letting him talk. She didn't defend me, didn't explain. She never asked what I did behind the screens, never cared to know what I'd built. Her brother's engagement party was a loud, showy affair. He presented Clara, his fiancée, with polished pride, mentioning her role as lead counsel at a rising AI firm. I knew the company. They'd just chased Series B funding. Their tech was cutting edge, too much so. They'd cut corners, piggybacked on our proprietary systems without permission. Our audit caught it a month ago. My legal team moved in silence, no headlines, just precise pressure. Until tonight, until Clara saw my face and connected it to the injunction we'd filed. I almost skipped the dinner, but when legal confirmed her name on the paperwork, I changed my mind. I wanted to see her see me. In the days before, I played my role, woke beside my wife, kissed her forehead, poured coffee, nodded through her chatter about engagement gifts. Inside, I was untangling a betrayal I couldn't quite name. She'd grown too curious lately, asking if work was stressing me, if I could take a break after this project. She never cared about my work before. Now she was too attentive. I dug deeper, quietly. Found her father had contacted Clara's company months ago, not for a job but to invest. They mocked me for working in tech, then tried to profit off my work, thinking I'd never notice. My wife knew something, or at least sensed it. She wasn't naive, just loyal, family over truth. Clara stood now, her chair scraping back. "What's your company's name again?" she asked, voice fragile, cracking. I met her gaze. Neurosync. Silence swallowed the room. My brother-in-law's spoon clattered. "Clara," he stammered. "That's the—" She cut him off, breathless. "We owe them everything. The IP, the algorithms. We used their code without clearance. I told you it was risky." Her father's laugh faltered, nervous now. "That's absurd. This guy's no." I reached into my jacket, pulled out a manila envelope, and set it on the table. The injunction, the IP violation report, the invoice, the termination notice, all signed, all final. "We tried to keep it quiet," I said, "but someone needed to learn what tech really means." Clara stared at the papers like they might burn her. My wife looked at me like I was a stranger. Later, in the car, engine off, her mascara smudged, she whispered, "I didn't know." I leaned back. "You did. Maybe not everything, but enough to stay silent." She didn't argue. "You let them mock me," I said. "Let them think I was nothing." Her lip quivered. They are my family. And I'm not. I handed her a second envelope, smaller. My name off the joint account. The house title transferred. My exit, clean and calculated. You married a ghost, I said, and you never asked what it was hiding. I stepped out, left her there. She didn't follow. At home, I poured a whiskey, sat in the quiet. Not the heavy silence from dinner, but a new kind, clear, unburdened. My phone buzzed, missed calls, none worth answering. On my desk, an acquisition offer sat waiting. Clara's company was scrambling. If they wanted to survive, they'd come begging. Maybe they would, maybe not. It didn't matter. They laughed when I said I worked in tech. Now they know what I build and what I break.